I've been around for a while, and I've been a full-time CrossFit coach for over a decade. I had my own affiliate, which I sold, and I traveled around the world and visited many other affiliates as an athlete. I also worked with a lot of different CrossFit coaches. Now, here are the 5 biggest mistakes I see new CrossFit coaches make. So number 5 is presentation. So it's not just about the technical knowledge of CrossFit movements and the execution, the proper execution of these movements. It's also about presentation, because you should compare it to public speaking, right? You're trying to engage a group of athletes and keep them focused on the class for an entire hour. So it's also about the way you present yourself, the way you engage with these athletes on a personal level, and also making the class fun. So you can maybe add some of your personality to the class, and just, simple things. Like one of the things that was said to me when reviewing my coaching skill, because I see coaching as a high-level skill, and what we do here in our affiliate is that periodically we as coaches basically just take a class with another coach and then evaluate together what we can do better and what can improve as a coach. And one of the things that I was told and wasn't even conscious of is that when I'm presenting something from the whiteboard, like running through the class, explaining what we're going to do, I would often turn this side towards the athletes. So I would show them what we're going to do. While it's not wrong, but it kind of presents a closed stance. So what I did is I corrected it. Not that it's wrong, but I want to do better and create an open environment and an open attitude towards these athletes. So instead of pointing to the whiteboard like this, I change it to this. And it changes a lot. And this is about presentation, right? So now I'm saying like, okay, here's the warm-up. Here's what we're going to do in the warm-up. We're going to do mobility. We're going to go in preparation for our block of strength exercises. So it's different than this. Presentation. Number 4 is over-cueing. So I don't even know if that's an actual word, but as a CrossFit coach, you're giving cues, verbal cues, tactile cues, to improve or help improve movement of these athletes that you're coaching. So what I've seen and experienced myself as an athlete is that some new coaches give too many cues in a small period of time, like you're doing back squats and they're giving 4, 5, 6 different cues on different things. Over cueing. There are too many cues. As an athlete, you're like, okay, it's too much. But also as a coach, you're kind of missing the point and giving too much cues, and that becomes totally ineffective for that athlete. Now, before we get to point 3 of the 5 biggest mistakes I see new CrossFit coaches make, I want to ask you for 1 second of your time to hit the like button so this video can get in front of more new coaches and aspiring CrossFit coaches and help them out. Number 3 is undercoaching, basically giving not enough cues, the opposite of number 4, overcueing. So actually not giving enough cues for an athlete or athletes during a CrossFit class. So basically what you want is you want the athlete to move better. And for every time they come to your CrossFit class is to have actually learned something, improved something, or getting clues or hints or tips and cues to improve something. Improving 1% of what they're doing. So coaches who don't give enough cues, that could be a result of insecurity or inadequacy, but whatever the case, it is something that I see very often with new coaches, is not giving enough cues for that athlete to actually have learned something during that hour and that class for them to improve. Number two is quite controversial, but bear with me for a moment. So, number two is you're being too much of a trainer and less of a coach. Now, I know, after you pass the CrossFit Level 1 test and you had the weekend and everything, you become a CrossFit Level 1 trainer. But I believe that every CrossFit trainer is and should be a CrossFit coach. Now, first of all, what is the difference between a trainer and a coach? A trainer simply tells people what to do, corrects them, and in this way gives value to that person or persons. A coach does the same thing, but instead of just telling these people what to do, we're having a dialogue style interaction with feedback from both sides and therefore creating value. Now, these are two completely different things. Some people are trainers / teachers and others are coaches. In my personal opinion, every CrossFit trainer should be a coach. So instead of just saying what an athlete should do or should not do, you're also having a conversation like, okay, how does that feel, right? The athlete answers you, whatever, and you create a dialogue style interaction with that athlete. And I think, especially in the beginning, a lot of coaches just simply tell people what to do, what not to do, right? Giving them cues, which is okay, but I believe that you could gain so much more by having conversation style coaching, which brings us to the point, being more of a coach and less of a trainer. So that's number two. What I see often is more of a trainer / teacher and less of a coach. And it should be the other way around. Now, why is this important? Well, in my opinion, you can get in much deeper with your athlete when you're a coach instead of just a trainer or a teacher. I also believe that you can really get into a personal level and build a relationship with that athlete, which in my opinion is always better when you're really trying to get better together. That person as an athlete and you as a coach. And that relationship will also build and strengthen this whole idea of a CrossFit community. So as a coach, in my opinion, you're better off and more effective for your athletes. And that's basically what it's all about. We as coaches are here to serve them. And the number one mistake I see new CrossFit coaches make is not putting in the hours. And what I mean by that is, after you get the certificate, great, you're now a certified level 1 CrossFit trainer. But now, this is just the beginning, right? Like getting a driver's license, the actual learning of that skill happens when you're doing it. That means practice, repetition, finding out what you did wrong, what you did right, how you can improve. Like I said, coaching is a high-level skill. In order to get better at it, you need to do a lot of testing, experiencing, and interacting with athletes. And I see a lot of people getting that level 1 certificate, but then not doing anything with it. And that's kind of a shame, because this high-level skill can only be learned through experience. Now, I know you're thinking like, okay, so basically I need a job. Yeah, kinda, right? The best way to do it is when I had my affiliate and some athletes said, I want to get a CrossFit level 1 certificate. I said, great, once you have that certificate, you pass the test, you can come and work for me on a Friday and do like 1 or 2 hours. I'll pay you this and this, and you can learn the trade, learn that skill by implementing it and actually teaching CrossFit classes. And that is something that you could do if you're an athlete, and I assume you are a CrossFit athlete or you're training at an affiliate. After you get the certificate, just ask the affiliate owner or a coach or whatever, and just ask if you can, just for practicing this skill, teach some CrossFit classes. Maybe with an experienced coach watching over you or side by side. Just try and get some experience in this high level skill. Of course, you can also apply to a job and maybe a part-time, teaching job where you teach, I don't know, a couple of hours of CrossFit classes every week. This is really the only way how you can get better at this skill. But very often I see people, I can literally name 10 of them, who have the level 1 certificate, but are not teaching CrossFit classes. And that's a shame, really, because you could be an amazing coach, and we need more coaches because our sport is still growing. So that is the number one mistake I see a lot of people make who get the level 1 certificate, new coaches, because you are a CrossFit coach after you pass that test, is that they simply don't put in the hours. You're not actually learning unless you're teaching CrossFit classes. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, pretty sure you're gonna like this one too. It's about all the abbreviations we use in CrossFit. And as a CrossFit coach or an aspiring CrossFit coach, you should know all of them. Check this one out. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. And may the force be with you.